Hi, everyone. So today I have the awesome Margy here with me from Weaving Influence. And I wanted to share a little bit of the awesome stuff we've done together, working together. And so, Margy, I'd love for you to let's just jump right in and share a little bit about kind of where you were before we started working together. What was going on?
Sure. So we had created our course about a year before we started working together with no plan of how to launch it. I think we just sort of assumed if you build it, they will come, which obviously doesn't work so well. So we created our course for authors who want to market their books themselves. We're a book marketing company, and we really wanted to create something that authors could use themselves to implement the same systems that we use with our authors, with our sort of custom boutique marketing. So we created the course a year in advance, and it sort of sat there. I think we sold 3 courses over the course of that year. So it wasn't very successful. And a lot of people in the company were ready to just like drop it as sort of a failed experiment. But I was I was excited about the course, and I knew that it could succeed because I saw so many other courses doing well online, especially through Facebook ads and so forth. So that's really why we decided to work with Luisa to really figure out a plan on how to launch the course, because we knew the material was good, but we needed an understanding of how to bring it to the right people, which is what we didn't have. So that's really where we were when we started working together.
Yes,
Ground zero, basically.
exactly. Yeah. And I really want to emphasize that because some people might hear like, oh, you had a course, that's way more than I have. But, aside from that, there were no sales, like no one on your list was aware of it. We really were starting from basically, like you said, ground zero. And, it was a lot of work, and you were just so amazing. You went and implemented everything like boom, boom, boom. And so, we created this really great launch plan for you to grow your audience, to really nurture it, to get people excited about the course, especially when, they'd never even heard about it before. Like this was an unknown brand to them, the course. And so I'd love for you to share a little bit of, well, first let's talk about the stuff that people always love hearing about, kind of the results of what happened, just both financially, sales, and just the other things that you saw as a result of doing this.
Sure. So financially, we had a goal of selling, I think, 30 courses. What ended up happening was something a little bit unexpected. We sold, I think, 17 courses to individuals, and then a publishing company that we've been in touch with in the past decided to buy a package of 20 courses. So that put us over our goal, which was really exciting. And so financially, it was definitely the results we were looking for. We've almost paid back our full investment in developing the course. So that's really exciting. And then in terms of other benefits, like we've seen a lot of side benefits we weren't expecting. So our core business has gotten more leads just from the exposure that the course has given us to different audiences, through the different types of email marketing that we hadn't been doing before, and the Facebook ads. And we've been building up from scratch a Facebook group that started with 0 members and now has, I think, close to 1,000 members. So all that has connected more people to our core business as well. So we've seen a boost in not only core sales, obviously, but also in just our core business profile and credibility, which has been a really exciting and unexpected side effect.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, not only just totally exceeding your sales goals, because we had a, pretty aggressive sales goal, which is good, as we should. And it's just like the end result ended up being just an incredible, I can't remember the exact amount, but it ended up being an incredible conversion rate, like, significantly higher than the average that you see, especially for a first course launch, which I loved. And, what I'd also love for you to share a little bit is that there's so much that happens once you have a course, once you've built this, once you have your first launch under your belt, to create lots of different revenue streams, lots of forward momentum. So I just love for you to share a little bit of kind of the next steps that are now happening because, we knocked this launch out of the park.
Sure. So the systems that we developed throughout the process of launching the course are systems that we're going to continue to implement moving forward. So we launched our course in February. We're planning on doing another 2 live launches this year. So that's going to be one, hopefully revenue source. And then right now we're working on setting up an evergreen system where the course is going to be automatically, the launch cycle, a shorter cycle, is going to automatically go to different people who click on our Facebook ads. And it's like this whole system that we never even would have thought of doing. It's almost like there's Facebook, there's all these different mediums. And if you have the system to tap into them, then you can have such amazing results because there's so many people out there. But understanding how to create that system is something that we've really gotten from working in this program with Luisa and the other people in the group. And so, yeah, we're really excited to just continue the momentum and hopefully just continue increasing our revenue with every launch we do.
Oh, absolutely. And I just, I have to say, it's like people think about the first launch and it's great, but then you have to think about with all the assets, the social proof you create from that first launch, what that does for future launches. If you guys do even the same, which you probably won't, you probably will do more based on just what we've talked about in the next 2 launches, that's 3x, what you've done once, but over a year. And so that's incredible. The evergreen stuff we've talked about for you, that's going to be another source of income that just consistently, creates a passive income dream once you optimize and set it up. But now you've seen kind of, how it happens and you have the data that shows, yeah, this is working, which I love. Awesome. And, I do want to point out that this happened for you so quickly. Obviously, you guys did a tremendous amount of work, or you especially, mostly, to make this happen in just about 90 days. We really had a sprint, but it's just so much is possible, just once you have the plan and once you take action. So thank you for sharing that. And, something I just love for you to share a little bit about is kind of the group environment that we did this in, just because it's something that not a lot of people think about. But, why don't you just share a little bit about that?
Sure. So at first I signed up for the group program just because it was what was available and, it was a reasonable investment, but I ended up loving it so much. We met on a regular basis and it wasn't just that, there's a group environment so that you're all getting the same teaching and you're able to get it at a lower cost because it's in a group. It's actually the group itself benefits you. So the other people in our group, I learned so much from them because every single launch is different. Every business is different. So hearing them work through their own businesses and their own problems and their own ideas and seeing them set things up for themselves gave me a lot of new and fresh ways to approach my own business. So I thought that was just an amazing learning opportunity to really learn from really intelligent people who are taking their dreams and putting them into practice and creating their own businesses and doing coaching and doing courses. And I feel so inspired by that. So I really love that. And then the support was amazing. I mean, from Luisa, it was like, we ask a question and we get an answer immediately and it's like detailed and it gives us everything we need. But then also the people in the group would offer their own thoughts, as outsiders who have a different perspective. And that was really helpful too. So I loved being a part of the group and I'm excited to continue to follow the people in the group and see what they do in the future because I feel like we really created a bond together over the past 3 months.
Yeah, that's so true. And, not only is it, I feel like kind of lonely in business sometimes, it's hard to find people who get it. Not only that, but who actually have experience and, the knowledge to kind of provide actual meaningful feedback versus just like, if you post something on your personal profile, everyone wants to respond, but how many people actually, know what's going on in business, right? And I really love that it felt like such a mastermind because I know there were some things even I didn't think of where some of the other members were like, hey, I would recommend doing this or, what about this? And it just like creates such an amazing environment. And when you have like this group think, well, not group think, that's not the right term, but like basically, yeah, like a mastermind of really smart, action takers, it just creates amazing results. So I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, those were the main things I really wanted to kind of share and get your feedback on. Is there anything else for someone who's kind of considering, it is like you said, it is definitely, valuable, but it is a significant sorry, I'm going to take that out. I don't want to talk about like significant investment. So let me try this again. Thank you so much for sharing that. And, for someone watching this who's kind of thinking, is this the right next step for me? Is it going to be what I need, the support, the group? Am I going to like the group environment? Am I going to get the results? What would you say to someone really thinking and wondering all of these things right now?
Sure. I think that one of the biggest things I learned throughout this process is that it's really important to be results oriented. So when you're trying to sell something, you want to show people the type of results they can achieve. And I think you also want to think in a results oriented way. So I think that, when you're thinking about doing this program, you really have to think, what are the results I want to achieve? And can this program help me get there? Because in our case, the results were we wanted to have a successful course. We didn't know how to get there. We knew that's what we wanted, and we knew that this program could help us get there. So having that end picture goal in mind really didn't made it feel like a much easier decision to make, because you can, count the dollars and sort of approach things that way. But when you're thinking about the results you can achieve and the return on investment you're going to get, I think it's much easier to understand the value that you're going to receive and to make that decision to take action and to really take that first step towards actually achieving those results instead of getting so bogged down in all of the details in the beginning.
That's so powerful. And I mean, obviously, I completely agree. Thank you so much for sharing that and just for taking the time to kind of share some behind the scenes of what it was like for us to really work together.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was such a good experience. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.